YouTube channel, guys. I hope you are fine, and I hope this playlist of AWS is also fine. In the last lecture, we studied about all the concepts of VPC, where we studied about the concepts like creating how create VPC network. Then we created the subnet network. Then we used the CIDR blocks and security blocks. So, like this, we have covered all of these important topics in VPC, and we also implemented it via terminal. So in this lecture, we will be going to focus one of the very important service for this AI practitioner, that is the DynamoDB. Before understanding what is DynamoDB, you should understand what how the data is stored in the database. So in the database, when we say about storing of data, the data is stored in two ways. One is in relational database format, relational. One is relational format, relational database, and one is stored in the form of fields or non-relational databases. So we will call it as fields. Okay. So relational data means what? The data which is stored in the table, that is called as the relational data. And data which is stored in fields are called as the are stored in the form of JSON format. JSON format. So this is one of the very important. And when we say about relational data, we have the concepts like SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, all comes under relational database, which is stored in the structural way. But in the fields, the data is stored in the form of fields, which is not in the structured format. So to study about the fields, we use the JSON, right? So to work with the fields, we use the concept of NoSQL. NoSQL means NoSQL, as the name suggests, that the SQL which is where we cannot use the relational database or something, then we call it as the NoSQL part, where the data is not stored in the form of table. For relational format, the data is always stored in SQL format, means in the form of rows and columns or in the form of table. So to deal with the NoSQL form of data, we'll be using the DynamoDB. DynamoDB. So, what is this DynamoDB all about? This DynamoDB is a service that AWS offers to work with the NoSQL database. To work with the NoSQL database, AWS DynamoDB will work, which offers high availability, scalability, and performance without server management. Means without creating a server, you can able to store your NoSQL data in this DynamoDB, and you can perform the operations on it. The benefit of this is high availability, since in AWS offers in various regions, so it is available in most of the regions. It is scalable means what? Like you can able to perform each and every operation in using the Amazon DynamoDB. All operations that you can perform. Let's say you want to deploy a website, so in that you want that we are using NoSQL database. So for this the data, if you want to perform anything, that you can perform using the DynamoDB. So, to understand what is DynamoDB, it's a fully managed NoSQL database service provided by the AWS. As I already told, high availability, scalability, performance without managing servers or compute instance, means there is no need for you to create the compute instance also. Very important. So, but this key, here the data is stored in the form of key value pair. Means what? In the form of dictionary, the data is stored. See, whenever we say about the JSON, you think that the data is stored in the form of key value pair, that is dictionary. So to understand all of these things, what is table, what is item, what is attribute, what is partition key, sort key, billing mode, here I'll go to one more document where I created this separately for you. So what is the concept of NoSQL? So NoSQL database are non-relational database, as I already told, and flexible. In the problem with SQL databases, like only the data can be stored in the form of tables. But every time we don't have the table data. Sometimes we have image data, sometimes we have some other kind of data. You have to do some operations, right? You have to some perform some data operations, right? How you can perform? You can perform it using the NoSQL concept. So without the help of fixed schemas, you can able to store the data. Very important. So unlike traditional SQL, they support various formats and scale horizontally. Like you should create the primary key, you should create the foreign key, and all those things and all is not required. But the concepts are there. You, if you want, you can keep. If you don't want, there is no need to keep. So Amazon DynamoDB is fully managed serverless NoSQL database with automatic scaling and millisecond latency. Means there is no time delay. All operations can be performed in fraction of seconds. So now we have to go to the core components of the NoSQL database. So what are the core components? One is the table. So now see, in NoSQL also we will indirectly form a table, but not using the relational format. Like means what here, let's say if we use the create table, table name, that concepts we use, right? That we won't be using in NoSQL. In fact, in NoSQL, we will use the concept of fields in the form of JSON. We will going to use. So the database which is formed, it will look like this. Like if I go here, if I go and if I go to my Google and if I type NoSQL database example, if I take here, and if you if I go to my NoSQL database, if I take syntax, if I take example code I take. Now if I go here and if I go to MongoDB, this is one of the MongoDB thing. So see, like this, the table forms. This is how the table forms. Means, if you see here, this is a dictionary, right? In this, you will write key, you will write value. So this is how your concept of NoSQL works, where the data is written in the form of the dictionary format. So the table will form, but in the form of dictionary, it will form. So you have item. So the records that are stored in the JSON, like if I go here, see here ID 12345, name foo bar. The 12345 is a record, foo bar is a record, foobar.com is a record. This is street, this is record, this is record, this is record, this is record. These three things are records. So all of these records in NoSQL is nothing but the item. So and what is the attribute? Attribute means, like in SQL also we study, right, the column names. Like here the ID is the column name, name is the column name, email is the column name, address is the column name, state is the sub column name, hobby is the column name. So the attribute means the column names like name, age, department and all, and this is your row name. So to understand, so after these three topics, the fourth concept comes is the understanding of keys here. So now there are two types of keys here. Okay, one is the primary key, one is the foreign key. Okay, so what is a primary key, you can ask me. Now I will take one very simple basic example to explain you guys. See, let's say you go to a particular school. In school you will be given a roll number. So, because why roll number is given to you? So that if let's say there are two students who are having the same name, should also get differentiated. Means what? Let's say if I give roll number one as Aditya, roll number two as Aditya, roll number three as Aditya. So by using this, so these three people are different. So every person will get the unique identity, and and for every person it is given and it is not null. So that's why that concept is called as primary key, where the it should be non-zero and it should be unique for every person. Unique for every person. See, now if you go to this table, what are these tables all about? Student ID, course ID, marks, and grade. Correct. So, marks will be given to student, grade will be given to student. So, for this table, the primary key is the student ID. Student ID. Okay, student ID. Now, what is a foreign key? Foreign key is a key which is the primary key of another table, but it is present here also. What is this example? Let's say this is the table. We have student ID, course ID, marks, and grade. So there might be some other table also might be there, like course ID, and we have the, let's say, course name here. Let's say we are having course name. We are having, so ID. What we can write? We can write this CSC 101. So CSC 10 means what? Let's say we will take data science. Let's say DS we will take. CSC 102 means what? We will take AIML. So if I erase this thing, if I go here and if I write AIML, sorry, it should be black color. CSC 102 means AIML. So means what? Here there is a separate table which is also there, and now if you see, for all the subjects there will be different course ID. The course ID of all the subjects won't be same, but this table, let's say this is the course table and this is the student table. Let's say course table, this is the student table. Let's say, so to connect both the tables, to connect the both the tables, there should be one similar column. So let's say this course id is present here, this course id is present here. So what happen, you connect this both the tables. So once you connect this both the tables, from what you are trying to do, you are trying to establish relationship between the two tables. So the same concept of primary key and foreign key, in student table it is the course id. Let's say this is the course id is the foreign key. Okay, but if you see this course id, it is primary key of this course table because this is unique, but it is foreign key of this student table. So similarly, in NoSQL, this primary key is called as the partition key. Means what? Uniquely identifies an item and distributed data across the partitions must be unique if no sort exists. So for example, student ID. This is the primary key. Now, second key is what? Sort key. So what is this sort key all about? This sort key means it allows multiple items with same partition key sorted by this value, creates composite keys. Means what? These are the two keys. This is one key. This is one key. So the foreign key of the concept comes under the sort key. Okay, these are the two things. Hash means partition key, range means your foreign key. Now, what are the data types that we have in NoSQL? We have the here, let's say if you want to use the string data type. So here you will write name, this is the key, this is the value. Number means this is the key, this is the value. Boolean, this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value. So like this, you can able to create the you can able to insert the records, or you can able to create the columns. Like this you can able to use this. So this is how you can able to use the you can map also this, you can use the string set also you can use. So whatever you want you can use here. So this type of data types we are having in the NoSQL database. Now we will start this particular with AWS. So to before starting this, so I guess now you understood the concept of table, item, attribute, partition key, sorting key, and billing mode. In billing mode, when we always do it, we always pay as per the request. So what is this pay per request? Whenever we need this particular dynamic database, then only we will pay. Every time we won't pay. So this concept is called as the billing mode. We always be going to use this particular setup. So now what we will do, now we will go to our AWS and we will try to configure these things. And one very important thing in this is there is no need for EC2 instance. Very important thing. So now what you have to do, here we will go to our this thing. Here I will write DynamoDB, manage NoSQL database. So here we went here. Now what we have to do, here we have to create the table. Just click on the create table. So let's say here I want to create a student table. As we took in the that example, we create the student table. So now in this you have to enter the partition key. So what is the partition key that we want to enter? Partition key means what I told just now, it's a primary key. So we will add student id is the primary key that we'll going to add, and we'll keep it as string. And if you want, so sort key is optional, there is no, but primary key is mandatory for every table. So let's say here I don't want to use this sort key and all, I will just keep it as the primary key. Now there are two types of settings. One is the default setting. This is the fastest way to create the table. You can modify most of the setting after the table has been created, and you can choose the customize settings, and you can able to do it. But if you want to do now itself, you can directly choose it. So now there are two types of classes that we have. Okay, so the first type of table is standard table. So when if you want to use for daily purposes with read and write, every time you have to update everything or you have to insert everything, you have to use the standard one. If you want to like for frequently, we have to use the standard one. For standard one, I means what? If you don't want, if you just want to store the data, if you want to just create the table for this, but we are not going to use this much, then we have to go for 1A. So the cost will be very less of 1A compared to standard. So this is the capacity calculator, like how much item size it should be. Storage also you can able to specify. What is the writing consistency? Like if you use more amount of it, it will be cost more. So now you see here the estimated cost is 0.67 per month, which is okay. Well, after creating anyways, we're going to delete this particular thing, so you won't be able to use these things. So for now we will keep the default settings itself. And now once you keep the default settings and all, now what will happen, you just have to, if you want, you can create the tags, or else it's no need to create a tag. Just click on the create table. So once you create the thing, now the table is been creating now. So it will take some time to create the table. And once the table has been created, then we can able to we can able to either export to S3. Like if you want to store this table in S3, you can able to export in S3, that you can do. You can import from S3, you can do. You can integrate with something, that you can do. You can do all of these things. Now if I go to table, now the table the status has been active, means the student table has been created successfully. Now let's go to the student table. Now see here, this edit PITR. So now you can ask, what is this PITR? PITR stands for point in time recovery. So to secure your data from the accidental writes or accidental delete, you can use the PITR. To see the errors, that you can use this particular, we can use this particular things. So now this is how, like these are the things that you can able to perform the things. So if I click on the explore table options here, now there are some tags, there are some value, some things are there here. If you can find the tables, the student table has been there. You can able to write the query also. If you want attributes, all attributes you can use, you can create for the student that you use. Now if I click on the if I click on the run option here, if you want, you can filter the name also. If you want attribute, this you can do. If I click on the run, items returned 0 because we didn't enter any particular record. So now what you have to do, if you want to create an item, you can click on the create item and you can write the value. Let's say if I want to write 101, let's say if I write, if I click on the create item, then what happened, if I see here, the student ID is the field and 101 is the value that you want. If you want actions, so if you want to download this particular thing, you can download it to the CSV, that is your choice. So like this way you can able to insert the record. And if you want to, let's say, delete the record, you can just click on the deselect all, or you can directly click on the actions and delete the item. So once you delete the item, then this particular record will be deleted. So like this you can able to like if you want to add one more name, let's say here I want to write age, let's say. Here if I want to, here this attribute I added, if I click on the run, then what will happen, this age is the attribute that has came. So now if I want to create an item, so here I'll write 101, here I will write. And if you want to add a new attribute, that you can add from here itself, like I want a number, so here I will write age. Here age I will keep as 19. If I want to add one more new attribute, let's say here I want to add a boolean attribute, like what I can say, in boolean we can write married, let's say. If you want to write, either you can choose true or false, you can do. Let's say we'll select true here. If you just click on the item, this like this the table of NoSQL will be formed. So if you want to delete this record, just click on the action and just click on the delete items. So like this you can able to, if you, their duplicate item is also there, you can edit the item. All of these things you can able to do it from the console itself. So I hope you understood the concept of how you can able to do this in AWS account via console. So now our objective is, you have to use this with AWS CLI. Okay, so in AWS CLI, what we have to do, we have to configure our AWS CLI, we have to create the table, we have to insert the data, we have to query and manage the data. These are the four things that we have to do here. So now what we have to do, we have to uh, I will tell you the steps how you can able to create the Dynamo table, and we will take one example and we ourselves will create the table and we will perform all the operations via this command line we'll going to perform. So first and foremost step, in the first to second lecture I told the concept of access key and the secret access key. That is very important for it. And now see here I created the database in Asia Pacific Mumbai, right? So in this area only I have to create my IAM. If I go to my IAM, let's say here there is one user group, one user, let's say here you are having. So you, this is global means anywhere you can able to access these things. So now if I go to my user, let's say, and in this user what I will do, if I click on the new user, and in the new user what I will do here, I will go to the security credentials, and in this there is an option called as the create access key. We will click on the create access key, we'll go to the command line interface, and I understand all of these things. We'll click on the next and we'll just click the create access key. And after creating this particular thing, now you have to either download it or you can directly copy it from here also. That is your choice. Okay, that is your choice, that you can do from here itself. So now what I will do here, I have to use this particular concept. So for this what I will do here, I'll go to this particular command prompt. Here I'll write clear. And now here first what I have to do here, I have to specify the first here I have to configure this particular IAM, then only we can able to do it. So first we'll click on the AWS. So this error came means AWS is present in your system, it is giving you the suggestions, you can run like this. Now what you have to do here, you have to write AWS configure. Once I write AWS configure, here you got the AWS access ID. So what you have to do, you can directly copy the access ID from here and you can paste it. Click on the enter. Now the secret access key you can copy from here. Either you can do it from here or you can do it from there. So here I'll create. So now here default region name I have to choose. So now since I am creating in my Asia South one, A, that is the Mumbai location. So that's why what I will do here, I will go to my here I will go to this area AP South one A. This area I will going to choose because this I am going to use now for this particular thing. So here I'll choose this AP South one A, that is Mumbai region. I'll click on the enter. If you want output format, you can enter the JSON. Just click on the enter option here. Now after clicking the enter, what you have to do, you have configured this particular thing, means this particular thing has been successfully what I can say stored in your system. So now after doing this particular thing, now what you have to do, now you have to like get IAM users. If you type here, so now this get IAM users you are not able to getting. So now what I will do here, I have to do some type of logic. So what we will do, we will write, instead of writing get IAM users, we will write AWS list of IAM users, we will write. So once you write this, it has given this particular error. So to fix this, what you have to write, you have to just write AWS IAM list of users, will write. So once you write this particular thing, you will be getting one JSON file. So this means what, here the user ID is very important. This is the this is very important for now doing the Dynamo database. So in the next lecture I will going to show you how you can able to do this create, insert, update, you can edit everything, you can able to do it from CLI. In the next lecture I will going to show you how you can able to achieve it. So that's it guys. So till now we have configured this thing successfully. Now our next step is very easy to do. So that's it guys, please do like, share and subscribe guys.